Okay, a question. Who has Christmas still up in the house? Yes. All right. Well, today the tree's coming down in our house. Okay, it's getting pretty brittle. And I came down this morning, I could smell, sort of that dry pine thing, and it was like, uh-oh, time to go. So this afternoon, during the red carpet for the Golden Globes, anybody watch red carpet shows? We do all the time. It's like we have to do it, and we have food and everything, we have a fun time. So it'll come down during the red carpet for the Golden Globes today, all right? So, but you see, it's appropriate to have Christmas up until now, especially in the church, because this is, actually, like I said, it's either the 13th or the 14th day of Christmas. There's no such thing as that, but because, we meet on Sundays, we got to squeeze it in here and there. So the 12 days of Christmas. So 1 or 2 days ago, I think it was Saturday, it was yesterday. So that was Christmas for the Eastern Church, okay? And so they celebrate the 12th days of Christmas. So Christmas happens, right? And then for 12 days is the Christmas time. And on the 12th day, they have their celebration, right? So that's why we do this. And it's also called the day of Epiphany. Epiphany meaning, the light, coming to light, basically. The idea that Jesus was, I guess you could say, unleashed on the rest of the world. Okay? So who were these supposed wise people that came? Does anybody know who they were?
What's their name?
Well, do you know some names that have been given to them? Both? And Casper? Yes. Yep. Somebody else said something else back here. Yeah? Okay, you did it. You good. That's good. Those are the traditional names. But who were they? Travelers from Africa? Okay. So Jesus, this little Jewish child, right, was born. And 3 people from Africa came. Were they Jewish? No. Okay. Probably not, right? And so they came, and supposedly because something told them to come. Okay, that's a very nice thing, that somehow they knew that something special was happening. But it opens up, though, to us this understanding that Jesus, or at least the principles of Jesus, are not just contained to the people of his time, who would have been, for the most part, Jews. And depending on which gospel writer you read, sometimes they said, no, he's not just for the Jews, he's for everybody or anybody, like Luke would have said. So, but here we see this idea of the light being given to other people. All right, so what did these 3 wise people do? They traveled from afar, and what did they do? Follow the star, and what? Brought gifts, exactly. What were the gifts, supposedly? And gold, okay? So, it might be a little clue, I guess, into one of the reasons why gifts are a part of Christmas, okay? Because on that very first time, gifts were brought to this baby Jesus. And so, as I was talking earlier with Toby here, just out of the blue, he wanted Dad to draw the cross. And so we see the cross, and Dad asked, would you add something to the picture? So he brought to the cross his favorite thing, the trampoline. It's probably one of those round things, you just go like this, up and down. It's for us older people to exercise, supposedly. But that's why it's in the basement, right? So, if you were Toby, or if you were one of these wise people who came from afar, what would you bring? World peace. You can deliver world peace?
Wow, that is...
All right. Ann, get up here, please. You're in charge. What would you want to bring?
A diaper genie.
A diaper genie. Very good. Very good. You know what those are? Some of you do, you don't. It's this contraption that's got a plastic bag, and you take the diaper and you put it in there and you twist it, and it keeps the smell in there. And then every once in a while you got to take it out and you know.
Diaper hot dog.
It's like, exactly. Or a diaper sausage. Exactly. It looks like when you take it out and you drag it to the garbage. It's gross. Anyhow, what else would you, a what?
Blanket.
A blanket. Pat would bring a blanket. What would you bring? Huh? Food. Lindsay. A bassinet. What else? A binky. These wise people, they didn't get it right. They needed bassinets and binkies. They brought gold and frankincense and myrrh, you know. Spit out the binky, huh? Anybody up in the choir have an idea? What's that? You can't hear me? Turn that microphone or that thingy over. Okay, I'll try to keep speaking louder. Bring a hearing aid or a better mic. How's that? To the cross then, because then of course we know that Jesus gets, of course, he grows. He grows. So what would you bring then to the cross, to Jesus as an adult? What would you bring? What is it? It might be wisdom, or it might be something else. I don't know. But what would you bring to Jesus? What's your favorite thing?
Books.
Books, knowledge,
Music.
music,
Friendship.
friendship. Ooh, Lindsay, gold star on your forehead.
Love.
Love, Rick. A hug.
A donkey.
A donkey. He was sent ahead into the village. Yeah. So gifts were brought, and we tell this story. And this story right now is the idea that this day of Epiphany, this idea that the rest of the world is going to be told about, or informed, at least informed about Jesus and what he brings. But, you know, the principles that Jesus brings to the world are not necessarily just, though, for people who might call him Lord. All right? And that's not saying that Jesus is for everybody, because obviously Jesus is not. We know that, obviously, you were brought up in our culture, but there are people who are being brought up in our culture now who are not part of this North American, or European bent. So their principled teacher can be who? What other principled teachers are there out there? Huh? Muhammad? The Pope. No, he's a little European there. Well, actually, he's not, but his religion is. The Dalai Lama? Buddha, right? So we see that Jesus brings to the world something that, obviously, I think last week I asked a question. I said, before Jesus arrived, were hope and peace and joy and love, were they not already in the world? No, they already were in the world, right? But Jesus was someone who came to say, hey, it's time to go back to some of those basics. Let's go back instead of getting so involved in tradition and so involved in the way we do things around here. Let's go back to the hope and the peace and the joy and to the love. And that is the story that principled and wisdom teachers bring to us in many different ways. But we here, of course, we know there's a special place in our hearts for Jesus. We know that story so well. And as we go forward into our year, and we're lucky and we're fortunate enough to have the beautiful sunshine breaking through all this cold on the coldest day of the year, that this is a good symbol, this sunshine on a cold day, of the kind of things that Jesus can bring to us. But you know what? If I'm laying home in bed and the curtains are closed, I'm not going to receive the kind of light, right? I have to be willing to receive. And so that's my prayer to you, is that you're able to be a wise person, to leave perhaps where you feel most comfortable, and to go out into the world and open your eyes to the sun rays of Jesus' love and care. Go out there, and it's not going to burn, especially at this time of year, okay? So open up. Let it open your heart. And then I pray, let you warm the rest of the world with what you see and what you receive. So I pray for your wisdom in the way that best suits you, that you find love in this world. My friends, may the Lord be with you. Is it time to pray?